Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast in the haunted attraction, haunted entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return once again from Haunt Weekly Towers, all of one story of it, to update you once again on the goings-on in the haunted attraction industry. And this is, as I noted on the way in, is episode 156. Actually, that was before we started recording.
Yes.
I noted it to myself. This is episode 156, and the important people knew.
Yes.
It was 156. That is a number that is divisible by 4. It's getting harder to do the math. And that means it's time to do the news. And some of this news episode, we're going to be playing catch-up. There's one story in particular we missed, and we'll get into how that happened.
Yeah, we thought we had
done it,
but then we didn't, so now we're doing it.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. And, of course, we have a lot of big end-of-season news and post-season news for 1998. And then we're going to be sliding in the next month or so into the winter news. What's up? You're looking at me like my turd.
You said 1998, and I'm like...
2018, whatever. Fuck it, I don't do years.
Did you go back in time? Did we
if I could turn back time.
We just meet? Or about to meet?
No, we would not meet in
We're about to meet.
We were about to meet, yes. Dear God, we're going to be celebrating 20 years of putting up with each other soon.
Yeah.
We need to do a ceremony or some shit. I don't know. Figure it out. Anyways, if you want to keep up to date on what happens and when we do that ceremony, be sure to follow us on social media. Awkward segue!
Yeah!
Hey. We're Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. You can find us at hauntweekly.com and also at tinyurl.com/hauntweekly, which whisks you away to our YouTube channel where all the previous episodes are available for easy listening. You can also find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or anywhere that you will find finer podcasts.
Yes.
Now, before we jump into the news, we have our usual item of business, which is conference reminders. It is an even week, therefore I kick things off. And I will start off by saying that January 25th, almost said July.
I know.
July 25th, no.
Your dates are all messed up.
I need a calendar. I'm going to get like 100 calendars for Christmas now. One from each listener.
You think we have 100.
No. Anyways, January 25th through the 27th, right here in New Orleans, Louisiana, it's HauntCon, co-located with Halloween and Party Expo at the Ernest Memorial Convention Center. Will be featuring us. I will be speaking. I'll be giving my copyright and trademark talk for haunters. Again, we will be doing something else. We're still trying to nail down what. Still taking your suggestions, what you would like to see us do. Maybe a pre-game get-together somewhere, pre-game to pre-game.
Or after.
Or after game, or during game. I don't know, man. Y'all help me.
Yeah, we don't know when you're getting here and how long you're staying, so let us know.
I will say I've been getting a lot of good buzz about this year's HauntCon. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are making their way out to it for the first time, it seems. Yeah. So this is looking like it's going to be a really kick-ass HauntCon. And I just found out, by the way, that my talk, this is true, will be the first session of the first day.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
9:30 a.m. on Cocking Friday.
Yeah.
On the upside, I get it out of the way. I don't have to think about it ever again. On the downside, I don't expect the thickest of audiences.
Yeah.
But anyways, definitely feel free to check me out. And check me out. No. And learn more details like the ones I just shared with you at hauntcon.com.
Okay, then February 23rd and 24th, it's HauntX, the Haunters DIY Expo in Pomona, California at the Fairplex. They will be touring Coffin Creek, Lights On and Off, and features a costume ball. HauntX.com for more info.
Alright, after that, it's the Maze Corn Party, February 27th through March 2nd in Dallas, Texas, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It begins at the Westin Dallas / Fort Worth Airport Hotel, but it's not at a hotel, it's on a bus. You're going to be busing and viewing various corn mazes located around Dallas and Oklahoma City, including Esterline Farm, Mainstay Farm, and more. To learn more details, The Maze, THEMAIZE, get it like a corn maze.com.
Yeah, so the Maze Corn Party is redundant. Because...
Yeah, technically that's the Corn Party.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like Manos the Hands of Fate. Manos is Spanish for hands.
Yes.
So it's hands of fate.
Yes.
Same thing.
Okay, finally for this week, March 21st through the 24th, it's Trans World's Halloween and Attraction Show in St. Louis, Missouri. At the America Center, it is co-located with Trans World's Christmas show.
I foresee good things with this.
No info on the bus tour. Features a party at City Museum on Thursday, a performance by the Vampire Circus on Friday, and a vampire ball on Saturday. Show.com for more info.
And I gotta say, if I were going to Trans World, I'd be really looking forward to that party at City Museum. I'd be making dead sure to go to that, because...
I would be going to all of those things.
Yeah, I'd be going to all of them, but if I could only pick one, City Museum would probably be the one I would make double sure to go to.
Vampire Circus sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. It all sounds fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've heard such amazing things about City Museum, and despite like a dozen trips to St. Louis, we never got to go.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, I'm a little miffed about that.
I'm sure we will make it at some point.
We better. I'm going to have to fucking drive 10 hours to St. Louis just to go to City Museum, aren't I?
Probably.
All right. Well, anyways, first things first. Those of you listening in the United States, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Ours was a lovely affair. Even all of our leftovers are gone, minus some turkey pieces, which will become turkey sandwiches in short order. And it's almost time for us to get back to work. I have to say, though, and this is an idea we're looking at for later in season, one of the things we did was we introduced our friends to a Christmas horror movie. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
And that went over really well.
Yes.
I'm glad they held in until the end when it got really punchy.
Yeah.
Very, very happy about that Christmas horror comedy thing. So we're thinking about, maybe a little bit later in season, or maybe even one of the nearer term episodes, doing one on our favorite Christmas horror movies.
Yes.
Like some Christmas horror movies for haunters type thing. We definitely know this area really well.
Yes, but we don't know everything.
No.
So if you have a favorite Christmas horror story or movie that you want us to watch in preparation of this future episode, send it to us, and we will try to do that and see if it makes our list.
Reach out at Haunt Weekly on Facebook or Haunt Weekly on Twitter. That's where you message us the most easiest. You know,
we've been sick since yesterday.
It's really, really sad, because it's like, when I do the podcast while drinking, I usually make far fewer mistakes than when I try to do it sober.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, well, I do, blame a little bit this week to illness, because, it's nostalgic for me to be sick at Thanksgiving through Christmas, but you not so much.
You're pining for the fjords of... Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm about to have a sneeze coming on. I apologize if the mic does catch it.
Yeah. And it will.
It will, yeah. Because this mic will catch a mouse farting in the next room, as we discovered repeatedly.
Yes, that's the Christmas mouse, right?
Christmas mouse, yes. His name is Santy. All right. So, kicking off this week's news, and there is a lot of ground to cover here, especially in the first few stories. But the first one takes us to Nashville Nightmare in Nashville, Tennessee. A man was stabbed at Nashville Nightmare by a friend who was handed a real knife by someone who was wearing a costume.
Yes.
Now, this is a story we didn't cover previously.
Right.
And our mea culpa is this. This happened really early in season. It happened beginning of October.
Yeah.
And we had done a news around that time.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, that happened just after we did the news episode. And as a result of that even though we had talked about it, everywhere other than the podcast.
Yeah.
And even though it was literally 4 weeks old by the time we got to it, we were doing our next news, we had just thought we'd done it.
Yeah, just because we were in several discussions online about it. And if you talk about it somewhere, that means you talk about it ever. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No. Apparently not. No. We are learning about object permanence and conversation permanence right now.
Yeah.
We're like, literally the podcast is only 2 years old, almost 3 years old. So
yeah.
Object permanence still isn't our thing. You see how this works, right?
Yeah, sure.
But anyways, this is like the craziest story. Okay, I don't know. The swastika night.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a crazy story to come out this year.
This is a story that should not have happened, just like some of the others that did.
Yeah, once again, I mean, drinking game, if you want to, every time one of us says, what the fuck, or what the actual fuck, do a shot, please don't, you'll probably be dead. But yeah, so, we're pulling our version of this article by Robin Merritt People. Long story short, a man was stabbed by his friend when they were going to Nashville Nightmare. And by the way, Nashville Nightmare, for the record, is a sister haunt, both owned by 13th Floor, sister haunt to New Orleans Nightmare House, which of course took over the House of Shock here locally. Mm-hmm. So, that's not like a disclosure, it's just like a weird, interesting tidbit to me. But anyway, according to the report, an actor gave a customer a weapon.
Yes.
And the customer, thinking the weapon was fake, stabbed her friend, James J. Yochum. Jay's his quote name, his cool name, Yochum, in the arm.
Yes. Because I know that every time I'm handed a knife and told to stab someone, I do it.
Yeah. You see how full of holes I am.
No, so I don't want to victim blame here, and I realize that I just...
Well, I don't think the victim isn't the person who got stabbed.
No.
Is the blame for anything.
Well, so I think that the friend is a victim too, though.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because they assumed that the knife was fake that somebody had given them.
Yeah.
And it should have been.
There is...
We've had this discussion before about real weapons in haunts. Yeah. Not a fan for this reason.
Yeah. Now, Yochum was rushed to the hospital. He received 9 stitches. Mm-hmm. And seems to be completely fine otherwise. There's no ill effects or anything like that. And the haunt said the cast member was suspended. Good. I mean, that seems pitifully obvious to me. And in the statement, they said they have, quote unquote, a robust safety and security protocols, including metal detectors and on-site medical and on-site medical / security staffs.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all well and good, but what the fuck?
Yeah. They also said that the cast member started freaking out because he didn't think it was that sharp.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, you know?
You have to start the breakdown in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Real weapons should not have been in the haunt.
Right.
In the actor area. Full stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. If you are using real weapons, they should be nowhere near customers.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. In fact, they shouldn't be in the hands of actors or people, full stop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And let's be honest. Because the problem with... And here's the thing about real weapons. Like, we use real weapons in our home. We haven't hurt any customers yet. Yeah, how many actors?
Well, and if you are using real weapons, your actors are... Mm-hmm. They need thorough training.
Yeah.
And this doesn't even sound like it was a haunt prop.
No.
This sounds like it was some guy's pocket knife.
Okay, so somehow this actual knife made it into the haunt.
Yes.
Breakdown 1 right there, but that's a minor breakdown in the scheme of the breakdowns to come.
Yeah.
The actor, then for reasons not explained in history of haunting, gave the weapon to a customer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right now, and any of my actors listening to this, I'll put your ass on notice. You give any of my fucking weapons or fucking props to a customer, I will beat the shit out of you personally. Them things are expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's except for like John B and a couple of those who would probably just raffle stomp the crap out of me. But if I can beat your ass, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah. But...
Okay, actually all my actors probably kick my ass.
Okay, so anyway, other than Jonathan's ass being kicked, I don't think our actors would ever give a weapon to a customer.
And then that's the thing. They never would. That is such an unforeseeable outcome to me.
Yeah, I don't know where this idea came from to do this and to go their friend into stabbing their other friend.
I don't care if it's your best friend going through the haunt.
No.
You don't give them a prop. Because what happens is that person goes, okay, mine, pockets it, and walks off.
Yeah. Or they have it with them and they get scared and accidentally stab somebody in reflex.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
it's just a crazy situation.
There's no good action that comes out of it, even if it's a completely gimmicked prop. Even if it's like one of our rubber knives.
Yeah.
Giving it to a customer is stupid. A, they can still hurt if they hit someone.
Yes.
And B, like I said, those are expensive, man. You don't let customers walk off with your props.
No. And I don't know, as someone who grew up around knives and learned knife safety, and we've done, knife self-defense and things, you always check a knife before you use it.
Yeah.
So even if you're handed one, you check it. You don't assume anything.
Yeah, you never assume a knife is gimmicked. And here's a good example of the problem with this. This actually happened to us this year. We were at a Halloween store of some stripe. I think it was one of the ones in St. Louis, one of the ones we were visiting at in Chicago.
Yes.
I'm like, where the hell can we go this year? My God. I should really drink more for these, apparently, was the last one. Chicago! Of course it was Chicago!
Yes.
I found one of those old-timey spring-loaded knives.
Right.
And I literally sat there for like 5 minutes. Dinka, 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 right into my chest.
Yes.
Just playfully stabbing myself with it. No problem.
Uh-huh.
Crystal came found me. I'm like, damn, I didn't even do it that hard.
No.
And that's the one time the blade didn't go in.
Nope. I wound up with a bruise.
And I wound up never hearing the end of it for the fucking trip.
No, I didn't say anything about it. You just kept saying, is that bruise from me? It's like, yes, that big-ass bruise is from you.
So, even if the knife is gimmick, even if you have checked it 100 times on your own chest...
Yeah. And actually, it wasn't at a Halloween store. It was at a mall toy store.
Oh, that's right.
It was one of the joke stores.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember where we'd run across one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the old-timey ones with the fake silver blade and the black handle, and it's super spring-loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out the spring does not spring 100% of the time. There's definitely a fraction of a percent where it does not spring. It is a non-zero amount of non-springiness in that.
Yes.
I.e., don't stab people with it.
Yeah.
I broke that rule and lost the lottery.
Yeah.
Like, the opposite of winning the lottery happened to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I don't understand that, getting a weapon and then stabbing, your friend with it.
No. I don't understand the actor handing the weapon over without checking it first.
Yeah. Or anybody checking it. I mean...
Yeah. I don't understand the person having it in the first place. They didn't say if the person in costume was male or female. I don't believe.
And that's what kills me about this, is trying to understand the sheer volume of things that had to break down for this to happen.
Right.
And that's just it. It's like, I know you don't want to victim blame, but yeah, there's an element of, hey, you shouldn't stab people with a knife you're just handed.
Yeah, there is. There's also the element of, hey, you shouldn't hand people a knife that you haven't checked out.
This rolls all the way up.
Not only checked out, but you just shouldn't do it to begin with.
Here's the end thing. If you're a haunt that does have these robust safety and security protocols in place, this should be impossible.
Yeah.
You might have the metal detectors, you might have the on-site staff, you might have all that stuff, but you clearly don't have down the actor training and actor education that's needed.
Yeah.
And you can't teach stupid. I get it. And this might be that case.
Yeah.
And I will say, it does sound like in the aftermath, the haunt did handle things about as well as can be expected. Mm-hmm. They got this guy to an EMT that was on staff. They got him to a hospital for his stitches. They immediately suspended the actor. Seems like they did well there.
Yeah.
But that situation should not have been possible.
Right.
It shouldn't have happened. It's not, that they lost the lottery. It should not have been possible.
Yeah.
I mean, short of the actor bringing in, and even then, if you had, you know what I mean, going completely rogue and sneaking in a weapon that was not the haunt's and not authorized in any way, shape, or form, and handing it over to this customer, who then, for reasons still not explained,
yeah, I don't understand that.
I mean, I admit I am reckless and impulsive.
Yeah.
That is one of my things.
Yeah.
I am reckless, I am impulsive, I probably won't live to see 50 because I'll probably do something stupid and...
Yes. Yes, if you were given something to take, like a pill going through a haunt, you're going to take it, no matter what it is.
It was a Tic Tac, for the record. It was
yes.
Found that out later.
Yes.
That was confirmed later. I didn't get my Tic Tac this year in that haunt. I was disappointed. My breath stank for the whole time we were there.
It's probably because, they realized people were eating them instead of pocketing them.
Oh, man. But anyways, yeah, this whole thing blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I have no explanations for how this could happen, let alone yeah. And, this really calls into question... go ahead. Go ahead with what you were going with.
No, I wasn't going with anything.
It calls into question to me the 13th floor's protocols, broadly. Because one of the advantages of supposedly having all these haunts under one roof is that you can share protocols, you can share things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true, but with spreading your forces, you lose some of the oversight.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what may be happening here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a frustrating story. And when I heard about it, when I heard about it, my first thought was, no way.
No.
No way it happened.
No.
No way. This is horsepucky. There's no way.
Is this a joke site?
Yeah, this the Onion, though, that's later.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It's real. And here's the other thing that's really frustrating. This happened on October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping the benefit of missing it and coming back around to it, more than a month later, was going to be that there'd be an update or some kind of new news or something we could discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Literally, the latest article I was able to find out was like October 12th, still reporting the original stuff.
Yeah.
So, we'll keep you posted if we do hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in stories we do have an update to. Last time around, I believe it was, we reported on on Akron Fright Fest in Akron, Ohio. A couple were upset and causing a storm over a simulated or a mock rape scene that was performed onto them in a haunt.
Yes.
Now, to refresh everyone's memory, Akron Fright Fest it's a little unclear at this point which tents I should be using, a group of 4 different haunts, one of which was identified and classified as an extreme haunt.
Yes.
That required a waiver to go to. The other 3 did not.
Yeah.
They paid the money for the 3 haunt pass and were going through the 3 lesser intense haunts.
Yes.
This happened in one of those. Now, that couple, which is Ryan Carr and Saren Lilonek, are now suing Akron Fright Fest, claiming they were roughly grabbed, pushed, and shoved with such force that they suffered physical injuries. Sarah says that she was shoved against a plywood wall and that her shoulder injury persists today and remains in treatment. And this was all part of the alleged mock rape incident that took place there at that time. Now, what's disturbing is the other allegations in this lawsuit. Mm-hmm. And this is really where the sad part of the update comes out. One, the lawsuit claims that the employee actions appeared to be scripted.
Yeah, that's...
Now, here's the thing. I know most haunts don't script, and I'm doing the air quotes that you can't see.
Yeah.
They're actors. I've never scripted an actor.
Yeah, we give them starting points and that they can build off of.
You got to fly and be free at some point, little birdie. You got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. There are some people that need scripts, though.
Yeah, there are some. Like, I can think of a couple we probably should give scripts to.
I've tried.
But yeah, the point of the matter is that you had So yeah, they claim it was scripted, or at least that it seemed scripted in the behavior. I mean, that at the very least tells me that they had done this routine before.
Right.
And that is bolstered by another claim later down that says other guests have reported similar results and similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that means this couple wasn't the first, probably not the last to experience it, but was the first to go public about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the employees did not appear to be concerned about witnesses, which tells me they did not fear reprisal from management.
Right.
And this is interesting because management came back after this happened and said, we would never authorize or condone a mock rape scene and on, even in our ultra extreme haunt, whatever. That's just not who we are, not what we do. The actors seem to feel differently.
Yeah. And if it's scripted...
Once again, this is according to the plaintiffs in a lawsuit, though, so let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so if it's scripted and other people have been put through this and just not reported it, then someone had to have known that this was going on. I mean, especially if you have cameras that you have to have.
Had to or should have, yeah.
Yes.
One or the other, yeah. Okay, and that the actions of the employees and at the different haunted houses were roughly consistent. Mm-hmm. That's also a bad problem.
Yeah.
And finally, and this is the one that seems most provable and also, in a weird way, the worst. After the incident, many employees defended the haunt on social media.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that it sounds to me like Akron Fright Fest, at the very least, has a severe culture problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds reasonable, given the things that we've learned.
I mean, if that is true, not that they were saying that it didn't happen, that they were defending it.
Yeah.
That seems to be what's implied in this. That is a severe culture problem.
Yeah. And you better believe that, the plaintiffs in this case took screenshots of all of it.
God, yes. They got receipts on this.
Yeah. Yeah, and so if you have an issue, and that should be part of actor training is what not to say on social media.
Yeah, I agree.
How not to treat your customers after they've left your haunt.
Yeah, I mean, and I know, I don't know if you undergo social media training at your job.
I've got guidelines, but it's not actual training.
And I know Ellie has to go through social media training once per year.
Right.
But it's a little different for her. She works for a bank. And as a result of that, there's actual regulations involved in this.
Yeah, there's a policy in place. I may or may not have read it.
You never talk about your work on social media.
I don't.
Really, so it's fine.
Yeah,
your social media policies, I don't talk about work on social media.
Exactly. I don't even mention where I work.
You have haunt stuff to talk about. You have much more important things.
Exactly.
So, but yeah. And if even half of these allegations are true, mm-hmm. or even if they're true but they're being exaggerated or you know what I mean, whatever, this points to a very serious cultural problem at this haunt.
Yeah,
that's the only way to describe it. When you would attack people who are claiming to have been traumatized by a mock rape scene, when you would defend the actions of the haunters in that light,
right?
And in fact, there seem to be other people who are alleging similar treatment. Mm-hmm. This isn't just a one-off crazy-ass thing that happened. It's a more pervasive problem. Seems to be what we've learned from this.
Yeah.
Now, these are just allegations, once again, but...
Well, and the thing is if the social media part of it happened, mm-hmm. then you are continuing to abuse and victimize the victims.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that.
No, like we said, after this original story came out, Akron Fright Fest acted as surprised as all of us.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, we would never do this. This isn't who we are. This isn't what we represent. And da-da-da-da-da. But the other actors on social media seem to think otherwise.
Right. That's
not good.
No.
Now, to recap, though, Akron Fright Fest closed early this season. They missed, I think, the last week or so. Mm-hmm. This incident, it was partly due to this, they said, quote-unquote, current circumstances, but it was almost certainly the backlash to this incident. And they also cited family matters. Local police are also still investigating this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, This is the type of thing that gives haunted attractions in aggregate a bad name.
Yes.
It really is. And this type of stuff is the most dangerous. Not where it's like a random, wacky one-time thing. Like, yeah, a dude got stabbed in Nashville Nightmare. So much had to go sideways for that. It was just insane. This seems like a more pervasive problem. Like something that happened repeatedly and could have happened to anyone who went there.
Right.
Not just some random wackadoodle bullshit that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the stuff that really cuts to the quick.
Yeah, I know.
We're halfway done with the fucking podcast.
Yeah. Well, and I hate doing them, but maybe it's time to do another one of those episodes where we go, hey, these are the things that hurt our industry. This is the perception that we're putting out there, or that other people are putting out there for us, that we need to stop. You know? It's like the freaking documentaries that aren't docs and... You
know who I'm going to say does our industry a decent amount of good, even though he is something of a controversial figure? John LaFlamboy. His videos that he puts out about why he loves haunting and how he builds things and his infectious enthusiasm, I swear to God, is like the most charming thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he that type of message is really good.
Yeah, that's a very positive message.
And it shows us, for how I view the industry at least, just a bunch of weird people who love doing this.
Who are very creative and very passionate.
And throw themselves out there. And not a bunch of people that want to do mock rape scenes.
Yeah. No, we want to entertain and have fun. We want people to have fun.
Speaking of not having fun.
Okay.
This is an article by Jace Wagner at the Willamette Week. But a lawsuit says actor at quote-unquote Full Contact Haunted House in Gresham broke a customer ''s teeth.
Yes.
It sounds weird.
So one customer got multiple his teeth broken.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Now, this was a lawsuit filed in an Oregon court. Long story short, it alleges an actor at the House of Shadows, Gresham, Oregon, assaulted him with quote-unquote dangerous equipment or props causing coronal fractures on 3 of his front teeth. The haunt advertises itself as the only full-contact haunt in Oregon. Lawsuit is seeking $50,000 in damage. Haunt did not comment, and the lawsuit is sparse on details.
Yeah, is this the first Oregon story we've had?
I think so.
Oh.
I mean, I know we made fun of Ohio last time.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is the first Oregon. Mm-hmm. But God, you see, I don't like full contact haunts.
No.
I've said it before, I'm saying it again, and I'll say it forever. I don't think the risk that comes with a full contact haunt outweighs the rewards. And if you feel the need to go full contact to be scary, please get out of the industry.
Yeah.
Because that's just creative bankruptcy.
Now, there is light contact, which is different. Especially if it's used as part of the scene to tell the story.
Yeah, there are other ways to incorporate touch without going full contact.
Right.
And the reason is situations like this. A mistake suddenly becomes I'm assuming this was made. We don't know the details of how this happened. But I
would hope it was a mistake.
I hope it was a mistake.
I hope he wasn't just
teeth.
Yeah, or else there'd be a lot more people suing this company.
But you know what I mean? It's a $50,000 lawsuit now.
Yeah.
And even if they win, even if it all goes away, it's still an expense, and it's still going to hurt their insurance.
Yeah.
Assuming they have insurance, of course.
I mean, I'm not sure how you would. I don't understand how this happened. I really don't. How was the weapon hard enough to knock out teeth?
Yeah.
Why was it being swung with such force? And why was it being swung at head height?
Yeah. There's a lot of questions there. The weapons should not contact face ever.
Right. Yes. Whenever we give a rubber weapon, because that's the way we go.
That could put out teeth.
Yes, that could put out teeth, but we give the actor a space to hit things that aren't people.
Yeah,
and can't hit people.
It might destroy our goddamn table.
Yeah. Yes, but the table's more than 1.5 feet wide, and you can't easily reach people if you're standing at the back of the
that
area.
actor lost it and tried to lunge to get at our customers, A, they could trivially get out of the way.
Yes.
And B, he would have to do this lunging swing that would almost have no impact, even with the weapon.
Yes, because he would lose his balance, and customers have area to retreat just like our actors.
Yeah. So, but long story short is, no, that's insanity. Mm-hmm. Full contact or not, that should never, ever happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to be curious to see if we learn more details about this. Like I said, the lawsuit itself didn't have much in the way of details. And it's just, this is part of the reason why I don't like full contact haunts. I don't think the haunt is scarier for full contact.
Right.
Because ultimately, the haunt still has to be completely safe.
Yeah, it still has to be safe. And people who do full contact tend to overdo the contact part of that.
Yeah, one full contact haunt we went to, every room, you knew someone was going to grab you.
Yeah.
You walk in, immediately, they're going to grab you by the shoulders.
Yeah.
And it became first room was oh, that's a little unsettling. By the 10th room, they did it. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Whee! Grab, shakety, shakety, shake, shake. Okay, can I go now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It got old. And it's haunters have lost, some of these haunters have lost the idea of what makes something scary. It's the surprise.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to use full touch, it has to be a surprise when it happens still. It can't just be a guarantee every room you go into, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Don't swing weapons at people's heads.
No.
I don't feel like I should have to say that on the podcast.
No, I know.
Put this on the list of shit Jonathan shouldn't have to say to people.
Yeah, hopefully this was just an accident. He was... I don't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't...
Design flaw, something went awry here.
Yeah. Very.
Anyways, maybe we'll learn more about this at the time. This one's a very recent one. This lawsuit was filed 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So, we'll figure it out. Alright, now this one is a sad one here. Haunted house controversy in Grand Valley, Colorado. The haunt... Nightmare on Old 6 and 50, and yes, that's the name.
Mm-hmm.
Ran a season at Mesa Mall there at Grand Valley. However, after they closed their doors, actors are now complaining about poor safety and a lack of pay. Actors say that nearly 3 weeks after the closing, many haven't been paid, and the one who was paid had their check bounced.
Mm-hmm.
The haunt says that it now plans to pay cash and Venmo.
Yeah.
Because that is how every one of my reputable employers have paid me. Venmo.
Yeah, and they said that the reason the check bounced, because they did say that it did bounce.
At least they admitted it,
It was because their account was paused.
Yeah, the account in question was paused.
Yes.
But yeah, the other complaint is actor safety. One female actor said that the room she was in had blood on the floor that caused actors and customers alike to slip.
Yeah.
Why would you put anything wet on the floor?
I don't know. Even our absorbent concrete floors, we don't even do sprays because we've thought about it, but we don't want that possibility.
I remember one year, we had an idea, and we actually designed the rig for it.
Yeah.
We were going to do a blood drop from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Have a sound effect, make blood sprinkle from the ceiling. Not much, just a few drops.
Yeah, basically a red light with water.
Yeah, and enough to get the point across.
Yeah.
But yeah, we realized doing hundreds of customers in a night, you're going to have water on the floor pulling up, and we can't have that. So then we started thinking, well, we could do that metal mesh grid. And we started, you know what I mean? And by the time we're to do this safely, it's just going to take too much time, resources, and it's not worth it for the effect.
Yeah.
So we dropped it.
Yep.
And it all comes down to you don't put anything slippery on your floor.
Right. You also don't put broken glass or nails on the floor.
Which is the other thing the actors are alleging, at least two of the actors.
Yes.
Now the haunt owner has said they didn't do an on-camera interview for this segment, but they said that they were not contacted about these safety issues. Now, and that raises the issue of, look, if you're an actor and you see this stuff, you do have to relay it. Right,
you do. And we actually did have something happen while we were open.
Yeah.
A little electronic piece that was way high up in the air, about 7 feet.
Yeah.
The little faceplate fell off of it, so there was glass for a minute on the floor. After that group passed that area, the actor told me immediately, went over, swept it out of the way, no problem.
No one even noticed it realistically.
If the actor had not notified me that there was something that broke on the floor, then that would have been there.
Yeah, it could have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so there is that element of it too, and we don't know if the actors did relay it or not.
Right.
But,
well, and you have to have that kind of relationship with your actors where they feel comfortable telling you when something's not working or it's not right.
And this is why the role of like a lieutenant can be very important.
Yeah.
Someone to sit between actor and owners.
Yeah.
Because, especially at a haunt that's hiring like dozens of actors, an individual actor might not be comfortable going up to the head honcho and saying, hey, there's broken glass or there's some debris in my area.
Yeah.
But they might feel comfortable telling a lieutenant.
Right. Or a zone manager.
Or a zone leader or something. Yeah. So, that's important too. Now, the owner is also at the center of another financial dispute involving a youth football league. I don't know why I typed out financial there, but it was a football league.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's here nor there, but it seems like this owner has some trouble elsewhere too.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is, unfortunately, how people are treated at a lot of small businesses. Mm-hmm. Here in New Orleans, I hear stories like this involving the service industry all the time about wait staff not getting paid.
Yeah.
This is an age-old story here.
Yeah, the worst is when a restaurant closes and people show up for work and there's a closed forever sign on the door.
Yeah, that actually happened. There's a place here in New Orleans called the Irish House, which was an awesome restaurant and bar.
But apparently shit management.
And apparently crap management because they just shut down out of nowhere. They were always busy.
I know.
How the fuck do you go out of business when you're packed?
I have no idea. But
there's that to some haunts we know.
Yeah, but the story comes up at least once every few years of a restaurant shutting down, not telling their employees, and the employees having to fight to get their last checks. Yeah.
It's an old story. I recognize in that regard this is not a haunt industry issue. It's a small business issue.
Well, I think of the haunt industry as a service type industry.
No, it definitely is. But yeah, it's a broader topic than just the haunt industry is what I'm trying to say. It's a broader issue. So yeah, I feel very bad for the employees. Hope that they do get paid what they are owed. Be sure to, swipe that Venmo money into your account ASAP, dudes and dudettes.
Yeah.
Just trust me. If it lands, get it out of there. All right, moving on to. Unfortunately, we had to turn to an editorial piece on this one. It's an editorial piece by Joseph Hosey at the Herald News. Joseph Hosey being probably the reporter I've seen with the least idea of what goes into making a haunted house.
Yeah.
But basically, the city of Joliet, Illinois, is putting out a brand new request for proposals for the future of the old Joliet prison. Now, if you'll recall, Evil Intentions, a haunt in the area, one that we went to as part of the Lost Souls bus tour, and we actually hung out with the people there. Yes. That is a disclosure.
Yes, that was great.
They were hanging awesome peeps, and we loved them, and drank way too much at their party, and had a great time. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they won the right to turn it into a haunted house, but the plans fell through after the building required more significant renovations than they thought, and investors backed out. Yeah. Well, the new request has received interest from two haunted attraction owners. They didn't say which one. They didn't say if one was Evil Intentions making another run. We don't know. They didn't indicate. However, the city says it may not be a haunt at all, and if it does, it may not open next Halloween. They don't know the timeline for reopening this. Right. And like I said, this guy really doesn't get what goes into making a haunted house. I'll read a quote from his article, which I'm generously calling it that because of the way of all the photos and limited amount of text in it. All you need to do is dress up, and talking about after you got a spooky building. All you need to do is dress some people up like monsters and you're done. Then you have a haunted house and you can charge people as much as $50 a piece to just walk through it. Fuck you! Yeah. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Fuck you! That's all I have to say about that quote. Fuck you! Yeah. Jesus Christ. Like, dress people up as monsters. Have people roam around aimlessly in this old prison, which I'm sure is super easy to find your way through, because that's how prisons are built. Yeah, Fuck. Just, oh my god. I nearly had a coronary when I read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a drink of water. That was pissed me off. But yeah, so yeah, this guy cheesed me off pretty bad with that. But yeah, still, it's a major setback for Evil Intentions, plans on the project, but maybe they or another haunt can still run with it, hopefully. Like I said, the building does need work, obviously, is the one thing we have learned.
Yeah, well, it's a really old building. It's going to need work.
And that's the thing that drives me crazy, is people look at a building like that from the outside. Well, still standing.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like the one that's been abandoned forever.
Yeah.
I would love to turn that into a haunted house, but there's so much work that it would have to go into
the old retirement home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That would be. It's a beautiful old brick building, and it's on a major
right
street.
Across from a high school and a college, and next to a recreational park.
Yeah, and it's got great parking. It's a beautiful location and a beautiful building, but it is jacked on the inside. We've looked into the windows, and it is really messed up. It make it safe. And
someone did a video of
touring it.
Yeah, they kind of they didn't break in because the doors aren't there, but
you can't break what ain't there.
Exactly.
We're gonna run a little long,
but they weren't supposed to be there.
That's fine. We can run along. But yeah. Anyways, the point of the matter is the little urban exploration. I think is what they call it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some major setback there. Still hoping to see something cool done with it. It is a beautiful building, but I also understand that the outside of a building is not always indicative of what's on the inside. We had a house down the road that looked really, really good.
Yeah.
That apparently the previous owner had, and this is a pretty sad thing to talk about, had abandoned like their pit bull-sized dog.
Yeah, it was a chow mix.
Oh, was it?
It was that chow that kept getting out.
Oh, okay. And he basically ate the walls, ate everything, tore it up, and because he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
Don't blame the dog.
No.
Blame the crappy ass owners.
Yeah.
Luckily, the dog's been rehomed, as I understand, and is doing better now.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's a sad story.
Yeah.
Something happier.
Yeah.
Darkitecture, the art and psychology of haunted house design. I actually really like this article by Jessica Rapp at CNN Style. You're going to have to really read the article, but it's a discussion about the architecture of haunted houses, and it discusses the use of Victorian mansions, how that's the go-to.
Right.
Like Hell's Gate's a Victorian mansion, for example, Haunted Mansion at Disney. And I actually know the reason for that is because Victorian mansions came into favor in the 20s.
Right.
Rich motherfuckers, all the great Gatsby and up, decided to build Victorian mansions, and then when the stock market fell in 29, they all became abandoned.
Yeah.
So they basically became synonymous with old abandoned buildings.
Right.
By the 30s, and long story short is that pop culture kind of kept that ball rolling.
Right. Well, I also read another article that talked about why we associate that era with the macabre in general, and that's because that's when you would typically have funerals and visitation in the home. So oftentimes, mirrors would be covered and you would have the body laid out and candles and flowers to cover up the smell. So it makes a lot of sense that was kind of ingrained also.
So yeah, we kept that alive for almost a century now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but it was an interesting article about how haunted houses use architecture to disorient people. And of course, includes a conversation with Leonard Pickle. Mm-hmm. Because who else are you going to get on that, really?
Yeah.
And basically, there's a generic complaint in there that as the industry grows, art is less common. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right.
I've seen a lot of very artistic haunts. I mean, we saw several when we were in Chicago that I would consider very artistic. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a generic, back in my day, complaint, but whatever. But still, it was interesting to talk about things that, we all take for granted, like limiting light of sight.
Right.
Having disorienting walkways so people don't know which way they're coming or going.
Yeah.
Things like that.
They also interviewed Phil Miller, who's been building a world of nightmares, and I'm reading directly from the article, 1,300-acre farm. One of the attractions that he has there is a Victorian mansion because of this ingrained culture.
Oh, it's very ingrained. Addams family.
Yeah.
It goes back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, speaking of great conversations about fear, article by Gilma, I just think it's a video by Gilma Avalos. We'll get there eventually at CBS Dallas. The Science of Fear, the Upside of Stepping to a Haunted House. Now, first off, kudos to Gilma for stepping into a haunted house. She prefaces this thing by saying she is not a haunted house person, not a horror movie person,
right.
and she braves a haunted attraction.
Yes.
Good on her.
Yes.
Those dark hours, what she went to.
Mm-hmm.
So good on you for surviving it. But as we talked about, and this is something I think we really should be pushing out there, the scientific benefits of doing it.
Yes.
Basically, our fear response, like we have that lizard brain fear response to things, but our frontal lobe lets us know it's not real, so the fear response doesn't get too far out of hand.
Right.
This is why when you're in an actually scary situation like a car crash, or, your life is actually in danger,
right.
It's a different feeling. It's much more panicked and much less joyous.
Yes.
You don't walk away from it laughing, usually.
No.
But that fear response gives you a big dump of dopamine, adrenaline, and other fun-feeling chemicals. And then, like I said, the frontal lobe kicks in and dulls the fear response and lets you enjoy the bouquet of brain chemicals going on. And also, they said it could be a form of therapy and a bonding experience for group family. This is stuff that we've known.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see it put out there publicly and with, like, science and shit backing it.
Yeah.
But still, they did not interview Margie Kerr, so we rate this 0 stars.
Yes. The only star rating we'll give.
Yes. All right. Now, I have 2 examples of haunts that opened this season back to back. They're both like heavily connected, so we'll just go through them together, and then we'll discuss them together. I think it's the way we should do it.
Okay.
The first article is from Delray Beach, Florida. Students there at the Mind Schoolhouse put on a special haunted house aimed to highlight environmental awareness issues. They did all the props and construction themselves. They didn't use any store-bought props. And they kind of created like a hell house for the environment.
Yeah.
There were rooms focusing on radiation, sea level rise, etc. It was entitled Planet SOS, with the tagline, "The horror is real."
Yeah.
And despite the text article saying that they had raised more than $4 million, they had actually raised over $4,000 that will go to the Community Classroom Project, a non-profit, not a profit. Once again, the text article got that wrong. Said it's a profit based at the school.
No.
No, it's a non-profit based at the school.
Yeah. Well, the headline was confusing, too, because whenever I read it, Delray students turn haunted house into environmental nightmare.
Yeah, I thought they had
I thought they had done something to ruin the environment in their school.
Jesus, the new great stuff wasn't great for the environment, but...
Yeah, what kind of chemicals did they get their hands on?
Yeah, no kidding, right? All right. And the second one is a very similar haunt. It's, this one is entitled Haunted House Raising Awareness About Substance Abuse. This one's from Batesville, Indiana, where the haunt Fear Factor, which basically uses this haunted house to raise awareness about substance abuse issues. This was it's a haunt that supports the charity Sierra's Club, and that's CIERRA's club, which is the daughter of the founder, Karen Adams. Now, Sierra Adams died on her 18th birthday due to a drug overdose.
Yes.
By all accounts, it was her first time ever experimenting with drugs, and she died of an overdose.
Yes.
Very tragic story. And so her mom is now carrying the message forth and trying to educate others about substance abuse and raise money. It features words, descriptions, and exhibits that relate to substance abuse and substance abuse education. And the Sierra's Club charity itself provides safe and drug-free activities for kids, which is cool.
Yes.
Now, the thing about these stories is they're both absolutely worthwhile causes. No one's criticizing the causes.
Right.
But we've talked about hell houses before.
Yes.
And how, while a haunted house can be a very compelling storytelling medium,
right,
is it really the best way to change people's minds about religion or politics or related subjects?
Well, not the Hell House we went to. Because that one was...
We all came out sinners as we went in. Just as we went in.
Yeah.
Maybe more so, even.
Yes. Curiosity brought us there, and we laughed the whole way through.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm sorry. The fake hanging scene had me really nervous because I've heard of so many hanging scenes going right.
Right.
And then they were using bungee cord.
Yeah.
They spoinked. I'm sorry.
You've just got that image now.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
It's like pinky boinky doinky. I should not have that image with that story they were telling.
No.
Anyways, the point of the matter is, I don't really know if this is a way to relay these messages. I mean, the idea is we're going to make people scared of these things, whether it's, sinning or the environment or whatever, and then we're going to change their mind.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I would actually classify these as haunted houses because, if you do it as a haunted house, then I think that the message you're trying to get across would be lost.
Well, I will say that the fear factor, looking at the videos, the fear factor one seems like more of a haunted house and more like they're burying the message and the props and so forth of the haunt. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just putting on a haunted house and putting out awareness type information in the queue line, then that's different than trying to make
inside the haunt still. Yeah. They're doing signs and things and dummies that are like passed out from drinking and so forth.
Yeah.
In the haunt. And I don't think... The thing about it is this, is fear response, like actual fear response, makes it very difficult to process information.
Yeah.
And haunted houses, by design, disorient, impede, and try to make people,
have a fear response. And so what you're trying to do is use that fear response to change opinions on things. Yeah.
And that's tough because, like I said, they're not doing a lot of analytical thinking.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why if you're going to do storytelling in a haunt, you don't do it through the actual scares. You do it through the interstitial parts. You do it during the downtimes.
Yeah.
You can still tell a great story.
Right.
But you have to be careful when and will you offer up your plot points.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I just think from a purely psychological standpoint, the idea of trying to change people's mind on a complicated subject and scaring them are kind of diametrically opposed.
Yeah, I think
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Margie Kerr or someone else wants to step in here and tell me why I'm a big stinking idiot and should go poop on myself or something. Yeah. I don't know how I would do that, but...
yeah.
The point of the matter is, don't get the image in your head.
No, I'm not.
But the point of the matter is, I don't get that. But at the same time, I do support these causes and I do wish them well.
Yes.
These are very good causes. I wish them well. I hope, if nothing else, they raise money to do good things in these areas.
Yes. I'd agree with that.
So, anyways, one more story this week, and we're going to have a little fun with the last one. So we've got The Onion.
Yes.
It's not every week, not every month we get to do a story from The Onion about our industry.
I don't think we've ever done one.
And then we have headline, haunted house guests escorted to VIP section where they can touch the performers.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The article pokes fun at the haunt VIP experiences. And basically it says that one haunt in Seattle, which, by the way, poor choice to set it in Seattle. If it said Ohio, I might have actually believed it.
Oh.
Okay, here are the letters coming now.
All right, Maximus, we hear you.
Okay, but VIP goers are taken to an area where they can touch the actors. This is, of course, playing with the old strip club trope of the VIP area.
Yeah.
And it furthers it by saying that for an additional fee, they can take the actors to the Champagne Crypt. Which is a great image.
It is.
That's a great image, guys. That's a good image.
Yeah, I would totally go to this.
However, the organizers do carefully say that they will eject anyone who attempts to pay Dracula to suck their blood.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's a good parody, good mashup of haunted attraction VIP experiences and strip clubs.
Yeah.
Not the mashup I thought I needed to see, but apparently the one I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but laugh. It's a great one. Check it out. And we can't give you the image over an audio-only podcast, but definitely check out the image included with it, which shows a mummy giving what appears to be a lap dance to a customer.
Yeah. I bet they're listening to Voltaire.
Must be. Oh, God. But anyways, that's all the news I've got right now. Anything else, Crystal, you can think of?
No.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much for spending quite literally the past hour with us. This has been Haunt Weekly, episode 156, doing November news. You can find more of our episodes at hauntweekly.com. We're also Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. And we're also available at tinyurl.com/hauntweekly, which is our YouTube channel. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, other places you can find podcasts. You will also find us. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this has been Haunt Weekly. We will be back next week with, I don't know, we haven't picked the topic yet, but something's coming, I promise. We will see you guys next time.